Peace and blessings. Mr. 1000 Reps here. Just wanted to take a quick minute and talk to you about a fast that we're doing right now. The official start of the fast started today, Wednesday, at 10 p.m. And basically, the purpose behind the fast was brought up by my brother Bo, and we'll put his link so that way you can follow him as well. And we have this transition going on with our V-Cut nutrition culture and the Mr. 1000 Reps channel. And so because of that, we wanted to start the a unity basically by freshening and cleansing our mind and our body. And one of the best ways to do that so that your mind and your body can come together for its composition, for the genetics aspect of it, for your cellular and molecular side of it, not the workout and the muscle, but actually your cells and your molecules. Fasting is one of the best ways to do it. So we agreed, that was me, my brother Bo, my brother Dre, and Flex, my brother Flex as well, to do a water fast. And so we are eliminating proteins, carbs, sugars, electrolytes, basically anything, salts, anything whatsoever that we would put into our body that could change our molecular composition or cellular composition. The only thing that we would do with our water is like a sparkling water or flavored water with like lemon, nothing like fruits or stuff of that nature, because we don't want to add sugar to it. The lemon has no properties related to, like I said, protein, carbs, and things of that nature. And the same happens with the sparkling water. So being that we involved ourselves as a team, the fast is going on from today, Wednesday, until Saturday at noon. Now, usually the Den of Pain, I have it open from 6 to 10 a.m. every Saturday and Sunday. So being that this fast is going to be 3 days, I really don't know what to expect when it comes to Saturday morning when we begin our workout. Because, usually we do our 1,000 to 1,500 rep circuit on that day. So, once again, the fast is for 3 days, 72 hours. And some of the risks of fasting. Number one, prior to the fast, I made sure that the intake of food that I put to help the body sustain for the next 2 days or so, day and a half, before I really start, the body really starts going through its major changes, is that if you're not prepared, if you eat the wrong foods, or you put foods into your body that are giving you a certain type of energy that is not a cleansing energy, then you can have some risks. The risks first start mentally, because you start having issues, behavioral issues, where you become impatient, or you're fighting these hunger, pains that you would get. Some of them are imaginary, but still you're fighting a hunger pain. And so when your mind and your body are at war, the risk is that you sacrifice your sanity. And believe it or not, part of the fast is to create discipline and to create consistency for our future goals that we want to do. Another thing is the motivation behind the fast. It's really more of a spiritual thing, because we want to reconnect with our body in its most natural state. So when you get to that second or third day of fasting, where all you're doing is taking water, your cells start changing, your molecules start changing, and now some of the toxins and the additives that you put into your body that were blocks, now you are activating your natural self. So on the last day of the fast, on Saturday, the plan is for us to get together and pretty much take a moment to meditate and get really in touch with our oxygen levels. Because once we get our oxygen levels up and we are able to intake more oxygen into our lungs, that's going to increase our blood circulation, and it's also going to increase our heart capability. And the more oxygen you have and the better blood flow you have through your heart, the more your brain becomes active. And anything that revolves around the brain when it comes to energy is a charge. So it's almost like recharging a battery, right? You can put it on a trickle charger and charge the battery over time, or you can put cables on it and wait a few moments and then give it an immediate boost just to get it running. So you want to be real careful how much of a charge you give your mind, because that can adversely affect your body as well. Additionally, we have our Instagram, Mr. 1000 Reps. We also have our V-Cut Nutrition. So if you are I would say unused, or I would say more like it's unusual for you to experiment with things like fasting and restricting your body and your intake to this degree. You don't necessarily have to do the 72-hour fast. So we just want you to join with us and create the inception of this mind and body connection. Because remember, the channel revolves around nutrition, right? Feeding the mind, feeding the body. And then from there, we talk about behavioral health. So just the same as I said about some of the risks that you take when you're changing the way that you eat, with the way that you drink, and all the different substances that you put into your body, that could have some effects on you. So it's always important to make sure that you have that spiritual strength to be able to hold on to, the motivation that you started with, and also, the goal, the end goal, which is that spiritual connection. The physical fitness aspect of it, during this time, I am going to do some restrictions and not necessarily try to push myself as I normally do. But for the aspect of the channel, we do want to still introduce I would say, our Mr. 1000 rep basic exercise, which is called tens. So we are still going to shoot a video during this time related to tens. And we also have a special guest coming on to talk about different types of nutrition, some holistic nutritional, pointers that we can use for when we start eating again to make sure that we're eating clean. On that note, the last meal that I had, I posted a reel about it. I had basically all just raw food. So I ate salads and I ate vegetables. I stayed away from meat. One of the reasons why I stayed away from meat was under advice from my brother Bo, because he made a great point about the food that you absorb and where the food comes from, right? So when animals die, normally it's a traumatic event. So if I'm taking on the stress, the cortisol, rising in my body, as well as the trauma of that animal, then I really can't cleanse my mind and my spirit. Now, to some of you may say, like, well, how could that be? How are you absorbing that energy? Remember, we're talking spiritual. And most of the things that we talk about spiritual really start with how much you believe in something. So if I believe great enough, or if I believe in, strongly enough that I am absorbing a specific type of energy, whether it's real or not, the brain is telling my body that is a really happening. It's a real life situation. So just keep in mind that the motivation behind our fast is unity, strength, and collaborating with each other with a clean mind, a clean body, and a clean spirit. So make sure to follow us on Instagram. If you want to join, put a DM for us, or, share this reel. It's a 72-hour fast for unity. And also keep watching for the updates for the next Mr. 1000 Reps channel episode with our special guest, as well as the additional information and the beginning of our principles of working out as well. So I want to thank you for taking the time, for just to listen to me and share with me this. And let's take a little bit of water to start our water fast. Keep repping. Peace.